is Joey Young coming at you with a update video on the 60p. It's been a while since you guys seen the tank. I think the last update was back in November. So 2 months. As you can see, there's a lot of growth in terms of the plants, but the one thing you don't see is there's not a lot of shrimp in this tank. And I'll kind of give you guys a general update real quick here on each of these things. Okay, so let's start with the plants. The plants are growing really well. As you can see, the moss has just taken off. So I was kind of tying these moss along this one big rock here that I had, and I'm hoping that it will grab on and just kind of like grow like weed. And it basically did exactly what I thought it would do. The same thing over here. There's like a small piece of wood, or I'm sorry, a small piece of rock here and here that it kind of grabbed and kind of took off. So that's a pretty awesome sign and pretty cool thing. In terms of the other plants, the blood vomit was doing okay in here until the black bear algae kind of took over. I'm really having trouble with black bear algae in this tank. It's always been that way for this tank for whatever reason. The couple things that I've been trying to do in terms of remedy is I've been switching to a different water. So I do 50-50 in terms of RO water and tap water now to help with that. And the other thing is the light is already kind of reduced down to like the bare minimum that I can keep it at. I added some floaters up here, water lettuce to help minimize that. And the other thing was I added it's basically a UV sterilizer for shrimp, but for the tank. It's supposed to help with algae. Let me see what else I did. SAE, you kind of saw two of them right here. So one little guy here. So I bought like basically like baby SAEs. Obviously, eventually they'll grow pretty big, and I'll put them in the bigger tank, or I'll just trade them at the fish store for smaller ones and just kind of keep them small in here. But I bought two of them. They were like really cheap during Christmas time. I think they were only $1 each. I was like, oh, I'll take them. So they're supposed to help with, obviously eating black bear algae. And for the most part, it's decent in terms of control, but these guys aren't eating black bear algae, 100%. They're eating other stuff as well. The Celestial Daniels in here are doing really well. I still have the, I think, the dozen to dozen and a half fish in here. I really don't ever see them as much anymore other than feeding time. To be honest, because it's so dense and they kind of like to hover like below the ground or below the ground here. They kind of just go in between all these plants, and you don't really get to see them that much anymore, which is cool. The blood vomit. The blood vomit I had up here in the front didn't really, they grew, but because of the black bear algae, it kind of blocked the leaves and it kind of stunted their growth a little bit. So what I did was I picked all of those off. I put them in the 50 gallon or the 125 gallon and kind of let it float it for a little bit for that. So the SAEs in the big tank will take a chunk out of those, because SAEs in my big tank they just eat those. They just tear them up like instantly. So yeah, I'll do that. But the one thing is my Japan Shingas are taking off really well. The one video I did splits on, I believe you saw that one there, and this one here was the splits. And then I had basically 2 more splits, and that one was the newest one. So I've been splitting these guys pretty often, or pretty frequently. So I'm just gonna fill this tank with the Japan Shingas just across here. I think I just need 1, 2, 3, 4 more splits, and then from there I'll just sell off any extras that I have. The other plants in the back have been doing very well. I've been splitting. I had to split that one again. The one that I kind of showed you guys in the video maybe 2 months ago. I split that dude again. There's a lot of dead leaves back there that I need to kind of just clear up so that I can kind of get better growth in terms of just area, because it just blocks everything in terms of like light. And then for the shrimps, I basically converted to 100% pure red lines, and then also blue bolts, or the other ones in here. So I recently added the blue bolts maybe 3 weeks ago or something like that, and all of them are doing really well, I think. The ones that I see at least. PRLs, they're kind of, I don't know, like I don't really see as many anymore. I don't know if it's just because there's so much, you know, dents like that and they're in there somewhere, but I don't really see them. As you can see, there's like 2 of them hanging over here. But like last week I like lost 2 of them. So I don't know, you know, what's going on. I've added like actually a couple of stuff specifically for shrimp. The one thing that I do think that I'm lacking in here is like probably a little bit more oxygen than, you know, than normal. I can just add a airstone, but I don't really like the look of an airstone in this tank. I had it before, but yeah, I don't really like it as much, so I've been trying to avoid adding an airstone in here, but maybe, you know, that may help increase, you know, the life of the shrimps. All right, so some new additions to the tank in terms of, I guess, just equipment. Like I said, I put this, it's basically the rip-off version of the Twin Star. This is a knockoff version, but I mean, to be a knockoff, I guess, it's just another brand that makes it. It's in China. I normally don't buy, like, I guess, knockoff brands, but like this one seemed pretty legit. The company's called Chihiro's Doctor, I guess. I bought this, and the one thing about this is it's half the price of a Twin Star, so it's really cheap, and it really does the exact same thing, to be honest. I had the Twin Star actually in this tank initially for about almost 2 months, and then I bought this dude, so I put basically the Twin Star in the other tank just because this one's actually designed for a bigger tank. So I just put this guy in here. But I had this, you know, running about 2 months, and to be honest, I don't really see much improvement. It's supposed to be kind of like a UV sterilizer, as you can see right here. It basically turns on once in a while throughout the day, and it's supposed to kill, you know, bad stuff in the tank. And I can see, you know, as like a UV sterilizer, it's supposed to help with algae and all that other stuff. But to be honest, like this tank, I haven't really seen an improvement in terms of algae improvement. So I don't know if it really works for sure. And, you know, my shrimp are still like dwindling in number in terms. So I don't see a benefit, to be honest. But if you guys are interested in checking it out and buying it, I mean, it's half the price of a Twin Star. So, and it does the exact same thing. And actually the disc seems a little bit bigger in terms of surface area, where it can do this little bubble, whatever it's doing. So yeah, I think, you know, definitely check that out. You can just Google it. I think it's on eBay for like $60 or whatever. So yeah, it's definitely worth the price if you guys are looking to get one of these, I guess, UV sterilizers for your shrimp tank or something like that. The other thing I added in here is this Eheim skimmer. I've been having a lot of just like film on the top of the surface of the water. So really I was trying to improve gas exchange, oxygen and all that stuff. So what I did was I just added one of those in. And the one thing I was having issues with this is because, as you can see, the hole up here at the outlet is pretty dang big, and the shrimps would sometimes get stuck in there or like fly in there and they'll die. And actually 2 of my little plecos died because of this stupid thing. I had my Starlight plecos. I had like 4 of them in here. The baby ones, if you remember, they're only like about an inch big. 2 of them went in there during night and got stuck in there. And as you know, like this is basically, it just drains down there and it shoots back out water. So there was literally no water in there. And then by the time, you know, I normally check this once a week to go ahead and clean it. And by that time, it was really too late. So 2 of the plecos died in there, and I still have 2 left in this tank. It was really sad the way they had to die, like in a crappy way like that. But so what I did was I basically took shrimp mesh, like the metal mesh, you know, small enough where shrimp can't get in there. Cut the hole, you know, big enough, and I put like the plate on top, so that's why it's not draining as fast in here, but it's doing, you know, the same thing. And I put it on there so the cover, so 1, shrimp can't get in there, 2, the plecos can't get in anymore. So yeah, I was kind of sad, lost 2 plecos because of that, but hey, you learn from your mistakes, I guess. And then yeah, so pretty much that's the general update of the tank. You know, it's taken off in terms of plants. These plants here, they don't really grow as fast. They don't you know, consume, you know, a lot of stuff. And that's why the algae outbreak is in this tank. Generally with this tank, I've been trying to keep like exotic plants or plants that don't really grow fast enough to pull a lot of these nutrients and all of this stuff in the tank. So that's why this tank has always had algae issues or algae problems. So what I did was I added some of this right here. These are mini butterfly rotellas, and hopefully those will help balance or help draw a lot of the nutrients from the tank a little bit faster than these other plants. Obviously I've been trying to focus on growing a lot of these more exotic plants, and you know, they're growing really well, don't get me wrong. It's just, you know, a little bit of algae here and there and a little bit of blackbeard algae, which, you know, I don't mind, and I have fish in here that takes care of that. The other thing is the shrimps, they love to climb on these little roots, and they just kind of hang out and just kind of dangle there. So it's another plus for them. It's almost like a little like gym, right? They can hop from there to there and just like swing like little monkey bars or something. But yeah, this is the general update on the tank. Let me know what you guys think about it. If you guys have any ideas in terms of how to control some of this crazy algae, or even better, the shrimp stuff. That's really what I'm concerned about. Is one, I'm not really seeing much breeding. Maybe I got like unlucky and got like all like males or all like females, and they're just not breeding in here. But yeah, so if you guys have any tips on that, let me know. Leave a comment below. Anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think about it. Make sure you guys sub if you guys haven't subbed already. You know, put a comment below if you guys have any questions, anything that may help out in this tank. Also, thank you for the people that entered, I guess, for the beta testing for the purely aquatic Wabikusa Eco Ball, and they'll be doing their beta testing, and then probably in about a couple weeks or so, I will probably start finalizing some stuff. There's a couple things that I'm still waiting on in terms of packaging and finalizing stuff, and then hopefully that will be going for sale for you guys. I know that a lot of people are interested in it, and I'm asking you guys just hold on just a little bit longer, and that will be coming out pretty soon. So I'm pretty excited for that, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But yeah, peace guys.